Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi. Kita sudah masuk pukul 10, jadi mungkin kita boleh bermula sekarang. Dr. Azman dah masuk ke? Baik. InsyaAllah pada pagi ini merupakan unit ketiga bagi modul 1 yang telah PSS at USM yang telah dimulakan pada bulan ini. Sebelum itu saya perkenalkan dulu penceramah kita pada hari ini.
What I found that the marginal adaptability is more important rather
Prof. Dr. Azman Seeni Mohamed merupakan pensyarah dalam bidang molekul toksikopatologi di Institut Perubatan dan Pergigian Termaju, USM. Beliau pernah dipinjamkan ke Institut Pharmaceutical dan Nutraceutical Malaysia sebagai pemangku pengarah eksekutif pada tahun 2016 selama 3 tahun dengan 14 tahun, lebih daripada 14 tahun pengalaman dalam pendidikan kanser dan telah menyebutkan banyak kertas dengan high impact factor. Beliau juga telah menyelia lebih daripada 30 pelajar pasca siswazah dalam pendidikan kanser serta produk biomaterial. Dan Dr. Azman juga telah memenangi banyak anugerah berprestij sama ada tempatan atau antarabangsa seperti American Cancer Research Travel Grant Award 2009, Double Gold Award of British Invention Show 2011 dan sebagainya. Beliau sekarang memfokuskan terhadap ejen kemo preventif terhadap kanser yang berasal dari flora dan fauna. Sebelum kita bermula, saya ingatkan sedikit di akhir sesi ini para peserta yang hadir pada hari ini perlu mengesahkan kehadiran dan juga melengkapkan e-survey lah bagi mendapatkan mata CPD dan juga melengkapkan tugas yang akan diberikan nanti di e-portfolio Mahara sebagai syarat wajib untuk mendapatkan mata kredit. Tanpa melengahkan masa, saya persilakan Prof. Dr. Mohamed Azman Seeni.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Dengar, suara saya okey ke?
Slow sikit, kurang jelas.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Thank you very much first of all for giving me chance together with all of you for this important talk as one of the important module for this our postgraduate supervisory skill course. So this is the third lecture in this series and the title is a good supervisory practice. If you clear or whatever, please help me to info on this matter. Okay, regarding this talk, it's about 2 hours. Actually, this module prepared by a few groups of lecturers, and for this special topics, about 4 of us. As I mentioned the name here on the slide. Can you see the slide?
Yes, yes.
How about the sound, the voice now? Is it okay? Much better? Is it better?
Yes, much better now.
Okay. So So four of us already have a discussion and we try to prepare a module on this. And the main objective, there's three main objectives that I wish to highlight for this talk. The first is to enhance the knowledge and skill related to good practice in supervisory. And the second is to focus on the roles and responsibility of supervisors, and also to provide a constructive feedback and comments for continuous postgraduate study. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Before we move on to the actual topic, the details about it, I wish to highlight a few important things here. The first is that whatever that I discussed with you is with a few references and also with experience that we gain. Okay, and what I'm going to say here is that we are talking about good practice. Okay, good supervisory practice. The most important keyword here is a practice. I believe every one of us here already have a good knowledge and we already have a few experience on this matter. But the most important thing is that how we can practice with the challenges in front of us. So that is the main point. So whatever knowledge or skill that you have, but the most important thing is how you can deliver it, how you can practice it. So that is my point here. The definition of good supervisory practice, the main important thing is that the practice. Okay, and regarding this matter, for supervision of a student, we should be together with the student from the day one. What is our own intent from our heart, from bottom of our heart? What is our plan? What is our aims for our students? What is the achievement that we really hope that the student can gain? What are the goals? That should come from our own heart. Okay. I believe this when you most of us, we are the one who become the PI, okay, the principal investigator of a certain research grant, and we already have our target that what we're going to achieve. But then we have a student together with us to help us to gain whatever the target. But somehow in some condition, sometimes we have problem, we have challenges. It's not a problem, but it's a situation where the guy or student is not fit, or maybe it's not in line with what we intend to. So the main thing here is that when I put these two photo here, I think get an idea of what it's all about. We're going to talk. We are not we are not focusing about our research. The research here is in the yellow, the fish, okay, the yellow round shape, the one I put in the photo on the left, on the right side. So this is about the research all about. Okay, we are not talking about research today, but we are focusing on the relationship between the supervisor and the supervisee. Of course, we are not supposed to be as close as this. This is just a photo to show that how we should become a supervisor to help our student. This is a family, okay, father and daughter. But uh, somehow we should put our student as our kids, as our whatever that you call the one we love. That's why I put you are the apple of my eye. So we should put this spirit in ourselves that this is our baby, this is our kids, this is our daughter, this is our son, and how they can manage you from our guides. So at the end, whatever that challenge that we have, we should have a good strategy, okay, to intervene to solve the problem. So this is most important thing that I think every one of us should understand well before we go to whatever substance that I'm going to discuss later. So I hope this photo will give a more clear picture. Okay, if you see the photo on the left side on the top here, although we are doing research, we are looking something, in the ocean or in the sea, we are looking something, but in different angle, and we are split in some way around, and you see that guy, the young guy with the black beard, having bags with him. So at any time he can, just throw everything and run away. So that is the not a good condition. So we should be together with our student from the day one till the end, and maybe can prolong with the interest in terms of research activity. Now, for the topic today, there's three topics that I'm going to share with you within this 1 hour, first 1 hour, and then after 1 hour, I'm going to share with you three uh, case study, and no, four case study. I'm going to put here and to show it to you, and then within 30 minutes, you try to think of, try to I wish to know what are the problems beside the case study, and how you can overcome, and what are the actual issue behind each case study. That's we're going to do another 1 hour of the lecture. Okay. So now for first hour, we're going to have a lecture with these three kind of topics. The first one, what are the roles and the responsibility of a supervisor? And the second topic is how to provide constructive feedbacks and comments for the continuous postgraduate study. And the third topic, what is the supervisor and supervisee expectation? Now, for the first topic, okay, what are the roles and responsible of supervisor? There's three things. The main thing that the supervisor should have a very good skill in terms of advising, coaching, and also involved in the research totally. Okay, so advising means time to time. Okay, as a senior scientist, as a supervisor, you should know how to advise according to the whatever the thing occur, to improve the student activity, to improve the skill of the student. And also coaching means, in very hard word, to say that you're going to transform someone, you're going to transform someone into a new, or into a new style, with a, with a new idea or whatever. So you should know how to coach them, and also involve in the research. But for all these things, the most important thing is that you should have a good effective communication. Okay. This is by time we going to learn, okay, but by time we need a platform, we need environment, to have been trained in this kind of effective communication. And what are the means of effective communication? There is a five particular area that been described as effective communication. First, that we should have a checklist of expectation for our graduate student, and also for graduate student to have a checklist whatever that supervisor that going to help them. So both party, student and supervisor, should have the checklist. What are the expectation from both party? So if you discuss this at early, so then it will help along the way when for this supervision activity. So that's how you improve the communication, by you have your own checklist for both party. And the most important part, and I believe everyone already know about this, that we should oftenly, okay, meet our student, meet together to discuss the progress. This is depend on how you manage your time with your student, depend on what kind of research that you are doing. Okay, some people there's no a specific guideline on this, but the most important thing is that you should meet the student oftenly. Okay, some groups, some teams they meet once a week officially. Some group meet as a monthly. Okay, but some, this is not an officially that sometimes you can meet every day, since the lecturer, the supervisor is also a scientist, be in the lab together. So depend on how the environment that you are being thrown. Okay, you are doing your work there. And another thing is that you should provide your student with a feedback on their strength and area that are need to be improved. So don't keep quiet or let go. You think that they are independently, okay, they should know how to survive. But if you see something that should be improved, then better you info them at early stage. Okay, and if you know what are the strength, okay, you help them to build up the strength, to deliver the strength in whatever area, okay, that you feel that they can be much more better. And this also another thing of effective communication is that be honest. Okay, in whatever condition, be honest, and especially when you complete the grade student annual progress report. I think here in USM we are doing this for every 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. So be honest. Don't just simply put this time, first time 10% improve progress, and then you may another time you just put, oh, this is 50% progress. But actually there is a problem where you try to with not only you lah, same together with me. I'm also in a learning process. Okay, so sometimes we thought we can overcome this. Student have problems, so we say in report is different from whatever the actual situation. But if you don't put the actual thing, sometimes if you don't overcome whatever problem that the student have, at the end you get a get back the what bad comment from your PTJ or whatever, or from the academic office, because the report is not being truly been informed. So we have to be honest, not only for us but for the student. For the sake of the student, we should be honest, and when we complete the graduate student annual progress report. And also some supervisor, they are very, yeah, they're very good. They're very good, workaholic, working more than 16, more than 10 hours, 12 hours per day, and student cannot get relief. So in whatever condition, you should give some time for the student. You can manage maybe the vacation, not truly a real vacation, but maybe attend a conference or whatever, so that you give a relief, expose your student in other platform, so that they will gain more experience. So these are all that related with the effective communication, where you have to advise time to time coaching and also involve in the research. Okay, this is the thing that I try to get to, the most of the important points. I have more other points that I will share it with the references. Later I will share, maybe the CDE will send you the actual reference, so that you can get much more important points. But for this talk, this is with the time limit, so this is the most important thing that I can share with all of you. Okay. Now we go to the second topic. Okay, how to provide constructive feedbacks and also comments for continuous postgraduate study. I think before I move on, is there anyone to ask, or we just wait to till after 1 hour? Is that okay so far? Am I going too fast or what? Any comment? Okay, okay. Okay, I got a few of them say okay. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, everyone with me. This is the challenge when we give a talk with this new era online online talk or lecture is little bit difficult because we cannot see the audience, okay, how is their response. But for me, I wish like all the time to see the face of the participant or the audience. But in this condition, maybe we can, maybe inshallah, in next time we will do a kind of face to face, okay. So for the second topic, uh, it's about how to provide the constructive feedback. So normally this is during a meeting, okay, as this cartoon show here is that the meeting of the minds, okay. Normally when the student come to see the lecturer, the supervisor, showing some results for them is very interesting result, or there's some having some problem, but then uh, the supervisor not showing the actual response. So because to the certain factor, as a human being, okay, the supervisor also will having some problem, okay, as the in the cartoon said that he thinking about the playing squash in the afternoon, okay, about the dry cleaning, and sometimes they might also forgot the student's name. So that is a very terrible condition. And on the side of a student, with the response of the lecturer, the supervisor, so then he will think negative, okay, about the supervisor, okay, like he is nothing at all. So this cartoon is very good, as you know, as to show how the constructive feedback should come from the supervisor. So in a good meeting, okay, these are the factor, okay, the characteristic of a good meeting. Sorry. So first of all, there should be a progress on recent research. So my advice is that uh, this is through my experience, but this is depend again on what type of research you are doing. If you are doing lab work, so the challenge is different, okay, from the other kind of research activity. So time to time, okay, maybe monthly, you should see the progress of the research activity. Here in Malaysia, we still have problem with especially with a purchasing activity, procurement activity to purchase the chemicals or whatever. Still, we are having problem, and sometimes in certain research, we are having problem with the ethical approval activity, which is going to take time. So all these are the challenges that we should take note. But somehow once the project on, so you should know how the progress of the activity, the research activity, so you can see, you can monitor weekly, or you can monitor monthly, and make sure it is a progress, okay, at least one step forward for every month or every week, what they have mentioned. If stuck somewhere is not moving, then you have to find a way how to solve it, how to move it, and don't just start and for many months, and then it is a not is a not is a very bad condition for both, for everyone. Okay, so that's why you should know, for a good meeting you should see the progress. Okay, it should be different. The one been recently report should be improved, should be much more better than the previous one. Okay, and then in the discussion in the meeting, you should also talk, of course, the current activities, and also identify what are the immediate problems and the difficulty. Not only identify, but also you should find a way to the problem, to solve the problem. Okay. And also, you should discuss with the recent literature. This is how you can help the student to get the latest literature time to time, rather than you use the old references at the end. In the thesis, it came out about more than 50% of references, in the same decade or whatever. Okay, so at least 5 years or 10 years, the maximum I think you can go, and should be more than 90% the good literature that you use for your study. And also, you should review the milestone. Okay, from the day one when you meet the student, you should already plan what are the objective that you're going to gain, and also how this objective you put in a good milestone, and then review it time to time. And if you have some problem, you can adjust the milestone and make the student understand, make your supervisor also understand, make your team also understand why this happened, so everyone in the same boat with the same mindset, they know. So there's no barrier, and they know such other negative thinking about the supervisor or whatever. So that's the thing that you should discuss in the meeting. And also, the task that you should give to the student for the next few weeks or next week or for the next month or whatever. So you should know all these particular things, and these are tips, okay, during a good meeting. Uh, you can do this one-to-one, or you can do in your own team, so that you get more ideas with other fellow, but depend again on you. You know your research much more better with your supervisor, your student, the candidate. So you have to manage, plan it very well. Okay. And and the one I put the last statement there, to evaluate student based on their nature of study. This is for yourself. As a supervisor, you know the performance of your own student. If you have in a team 6 students, 10 students, okay, 3 students, so you have to evaluate time to time. How is the students' progress? They know what they are doing, okay, they understand with the challenges that they have. So these are the thing, you should have your own personal report with you. Okay, so you monitor them in whatever way you want to follow them. You can do journal club or whatever the thing. So from that, you know how is the performance of the student that they're doing. Okay. So that is the topic 2. And uh, the topic 3 is, what is the supervisor and supervisee expectation. So both party have their own expectation, and there's a few important expectation here on the supervisor side. Okay. Uh, For the supervisor, okay, this is I get from references from Estelle 2005. No, so uh, these are 6 important expectation from the supervisor on the candidate, on their students, on their supervisee. First of all, we will think that they should be independent. So you should have some percentage. Is it 100%? Is it 50%? So you should put this factor on your student. Okay, you expect the student should be independent, but on how many percentage? Okay, and then you should also understand, and also we expect the student to be excited with their work, okay, and fun to be with. So you can see from their movement, from their body language or whatever, if they get some result, are they happy? Okay, in certain labs, if they got a good result, they will do a party, a small party, time to time. Okay, and a student sometimes very happy with the result they found. But in some cases, some student, they have a good result, but they don't show off. Okay, and maybe in that condition you should study about your student why it is so, because they couldn't get the actual uh, spirit. Okay, why is their student is not excited with the result? Maybe the student have another problem, so you should from beginning understand this. Okay, and also follow the advice. Okay, whether you have to check whether this fellow this candidate is following the advice or not, time to time. Sometimes they just bow to you, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. But at the end, something other thing happened. So that's why the lab book is very important. Um, Sorry to say, I'm not sure in my era and this time, I think there's maybe due to this gadget, with this computer gadget and also with the handphone, somehow the student take easy with the report, with the finding. Okay, everything they put in mobile, they put in your computer, but not right on in a traditional way. Okay, where in old school we have our own report book, and you should write whatever the finding, everything is there. But now they put the result in their PowerPoint, whatever, and then they keep. It's good for, of course, it's a good positive way for preparation for your thesis or whatever. But to monitor time to time, to see the progress, to see what actual problem, for me, my personal view, we should still need a book, a report book. Okay, and therefore from that you can see how your student, whether they are following your advice or not. Okay, sometimes we say this technique, blah 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 blah, in this way, but they do it in different way, they don't get the result, and then they come back to you, and because we don't have the actual protocol what they are doing, so then it become again miserable condition. Okay, we do not know how to solve the problem. So this is very important to follow, to see how they are doing, whether they are in the right track, on the actual track with your the actual advice. Okay, and then see also whether this is our expectation as supervisor, whether they are honest on reporting the research progress. Okay, this is sometimes you can find this kind of student or candidate. Okay, they try to cheat you. Okay, and if you're of course you also have experience and you know whether these are cheating or not. Okay, and you should advise in good way. Okay, guide them that how much important, okay, the research finding, what are the spirit of research. Okay, why we should put all the result in a good way, in a honest way, so that this research will benefit and have an impact to the community out there. So therefore, this is another important aspect, another important item or point that we expect from our student. And another factor is that you should also have a regular meeting. Okay, so what we expect is that when we have a meeting, the student will be able to attend. Okay, especially if you have the student with the part-time status, where they have other particular job, they are busy. So you should make sure, and your highly expectation that the student will be able to have a regular meeting. Okay, so this is another factor, the expectation of the supervisor. And the last thing is that the student should produce the written work. Okay, not only just the first draft. Okay, not only the proposal, and after that there's no more written work. So then you cannot follow what is the performance of the student and how is their, their thesis look like. So once for me, my advice is that the thesis can start from the day one, the writing of a thesis. Although the lab work is not, you have not done yet, but once you have your title, you know what is your objective. So at least the 3 chapter, okay, your introduction, your literature review, and the methodology, it's already can start, can be right on. Okay, so you make a proper timeline for the student. So time to time you can check the progress of the thesis. Okay, the introduction part. Okay, have a discussion, improve on it. But one of important thing also that I should remind is that to ourselves, don't keep much in changing the objective or the main research activity, the milestone or whatever. Sometimes I found with some of our friends, at the end, student was doing the master work or even the PhD for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. It's not because of the actual performance of the student, but the supervisor. Okay, sometimes change in this way and then change another way. So this is not a good habit lah. Okay, for my own personal view. So we have to monitor the student. From day one, we already have a mutual agreement. Okay, this is our objective and this is what we are looking for. So this is the method that we should use to find the solution, to find the answer from the research activity. Okay. Okay, now from another party, from our students, what they expect from us. Okay, what are the supervisory expect from us? So the first thing is that, of course, the support in involvement in research activity. This is regarding especially with the grant, with the monetary activity to support, okay, and also the facility or whatever the thing that related with the research activity. So this is the thing that student will expect from the supervisor. Okay, how much they can support is what are the involvement that how they can help them. Uh, Sometimes nowadays I found, which is for me is not a good habit, but due to the economy situation, maybe students from some rich country, they come with their own pocket money and they use some certain money, and in this condition, some supervisor take an advantage. Okay, so I think we should change the condition, okay, and also how we, the one who should be the champion, the principal investigator, okay, to support the research. And another thing is guide, the encouragement, okay, guide with encouragement, okay, not discourage, okay. So this is we should learn, okay, how to use a nice word, to smile, to to give a good impression to them, and guide them. Of course, it's not like taking care of the kids, but the most important is not discourage them, okay. So the encouragement is very important, so you should guide them, okay, give a support, give a moral support, and also encourage and open ideas. Sometimes because we will train about maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, so we have our own mindset and we think that is the actual way and that is the only way. Sometimes with the changes and the student maybe have their own ideas, maybe it's a good idea, so you should encourage them time to time, give an idea. Okay, when I was in Japan, I done my PhD in Japan. So my supervisor, late Professor Tomoyuki Shirai, for me, every 6 months, he will ask me to give a new idea of a new project. Okay, just suddenly he came, Azman, please give a few project, a new idea. Okay, within 1 or 2 weeks, then I should give just a brief topics. Then he keep with him for a few weeks or a few days, and then he come out and he will discuss with me. Oh, this is good project. Okay, this is good. Okay, so when later on you go back to Malaysia, yeah, you can do all this project. So that's how he train me. Okay, every 6 months, every or in a year maybe twice or once, he will ask me. So I keep all this project, the idea with me. So until now, Alhamdulillah, I still can make use of it. So that is how my supervisor trained me. But for me to practice it is another issue. Okay, so that's why what I said from beginning is that practice the most important thing here. We have the knowledge, we have the skill. I believe everyone, especially our lecturer here, is very good candidate before as a PhD student. You have a talent, you have everything. But now we have in another arena, the challenge is different. So now the time for us to improve, to get back how to help our student. Okay. Okay, another important expectation from our student is that we be available for the meetings. This is for lecturer who have other tasks, especially involved in the management work, administration work, or have a special post here and there moving around. So you should plan your work properly and don't uh, miss the meeting or don't forget to meet your student, so they will motivate them. Okay, so you should be available, okay, whatever time they call you or whatever, during a proper time. So you should be there and info them, share whatever condition that you have with them from beginning, so they will understand, and they will also might help to get a good proper time that both of you can meet and discuss. Okay, and also another thing is that the student will also, they want from the lecturer, from the supervisor, to ensure the final goal. Okay, what are the actual final goal? Is it a realistic and also identifiable? So they want to know when they're going to stop. Okay, whether they are progress according to the objective. Okay, so they want to hear from the supervisor itself, whether they're in correct way, and what are the final goal. If you just make them totally 100% independently, and then you don't meet them, and then at the end when they come and after certain time and say, oh, no, no, you are not here, you should do other particular thing, you change here and there. So again, if the actual spirit of the research is not there, it's not been understand very well for both party, then it become a problem. Okay, and also interest in your research. Sometimes some student came with their own proposal. Okay, they have already have a grant, and some lecturer or some supervisor will, show that they are better, or they have their own interest or focus on other research. So they don't care much about this particular project, and sometimes they just been appointed because of the actual supervisor already leave, already retired, or already go for sabbatical, and then they have to come as a main supervisor, take care of the student, and then they show I'm not interested in this research. You just do whatever you want to do. Okay, so they just let go. So this also is not kind of expectation from the student. Okay, and then student also needs to assess the progress objectively and provide the honest feedback. This also one of the important factor the student needs from us. Okay, to know, is it they are doing well, is it they are progress well, is it and they need to provide a honest feedback. Don't simply say, yeah, you're very good, just to, we don't want to fight, or we don't want to demotivate. We want to show that we are so much of support, then everything, sorry, then everything's look good. Uh, but at the end, the actual thing is not the real one. Okay, the real one is in the different story. So at the end, the big problem occur, and that's it. Okay. So this is another important notes that I found that I wish to share with you, that we can manage the expectation in by different time. Okay, at the starting point, both party, okay, both supervisor and supervisee will identify a good area, and also knowing what has already been done and anticipating when a problem will be too hard or too easy. Okay, so at the first stage of the research, so both party should know whether they're having a problem or not, whether everything goes smooth or not, and they already know what are the things they should do. And then, especially the supervisor in the middle of the research activity, so should know the bigger picture, okay? And the student also understand what are the actual bigger picture of the research, okay? And also the supervisor should nudging the good direction, okay? And also identify the common pitfalls and also keep the eye on the clock, okay? Both parties should be together, especially the supervisor, of course, should know how is the progress by the time. Okay, this may be in the middle of the research. Okay, maybe after 1.5 years or maybe after 1 year, so you already know what should do. And then at the end, this is the most important part of the supervisor. You can know to say stop to your student. Okay, and then know how the whole thesis will look like, and also you were ready, okay, to anticipating problem area for the viva. So both party, okay, for both supervisor and supervisee, for these particular things, both parties should play a role and should understand, okay, and make self clear about this particular point. Now, although we have the skill, we have the knowledge, sometimes we cannot run away from the challenges, from the bad situation. Sometimes the actual issue occur is that false expectation. They expect, oh, this is a good supervisor. We heard maybe the story is about 10 years ago, not now. Maybe like my case, or 10 years ago, this guy is very good, but now, no more. Okay, so the false expectation, and then failure to see the whole picture. The student is not understand very well, especially when they come without the proposal. So they are joining our research team, so they're not sure. Okay, and some student are totally dependent on on the supervisor. So this is a big headache. Okay, and you have to find a way to make them understand. Okay, from the day one what they are doing, okay, and also hopefully, okay, in the middle or whatever, the student can see what is the actual picture and where they are actually in the research world, okay, and by attending the conference, whatever, seminar, whatever, so they can much get more better picture, better idea where they are. So in this case, maybe you have to send your student for the international conference. If the money is financial is a big problem, so you should find a way, expose them. For me, I think for really international conference, this is not the one held in Malaysia. Okay, we say that, okay, international conference, but 80% is the Malaysian people. So you should send to the foreign country, and also a good kind of conference, like in my area of cancer research, we have a few cancer research meeting in the worldwide, okay, for more than 10,000 people attending, and you can get a good idea in France, in US, in Japan. So these are a big occasion of conferences. So if you expose the student from beginning, you can get they can get a good picture. And therefore, another way is doing a journal club. So ask them to present a paper all the time, okay, by monthly, all the paper that related to their project. So the current finding from the high impact journal, so that the team and also the student understand, okay, what are the actual thing happen in the worldwide, okay. So just not reading, but you should have a discussion and to see. Only then the student will might give a good picture. Okay, and then in some cases, in some countries, or maybe there's some personality clash. Okay, from day one, you already put some negative thinking on personality active condition. So then at the end, they cannot stand on it and they have a big problem. And also maybe other pressures, especially from the supervisor, maybe have so much of commitment and also pressure in the working environment. Students have their own pressure, but students are focusing on their own project. Maybe they have other family problems. But for the supervisor, they have many more kind of pressure that they have to face. So these are the things that you should try to overcome, try to solve one by one, and then put less pressure on you. Okay. And another thing still, the lack of communication. Okay, misunderstanding, lack of communication. This is a big issue in terms of the relationship within the supervisor and supervisee. Okay, so here is the references. Okay, just to share with you important notes from the USM Code of Good Practice or Postgraduate Research Study. I'm not sure whether you notice about this, but you can get this. Actually, the detail of good practice already been prepared by USM in 2012, but I also just recently knew about it when we do about this module. So if you want to know much better, you go to the IPS website and then you check the keyword of downloads. Okay, and then from the downloads you go to others, and then only you can see the code of good practice. We already give a comment to IPS regarding this, maybe to put in another way that people might better look, to know this code of practice easily to download it. So but anyhow, these are the thing the thing that we can make use of it. It's already there. But anyhow, I will share these notes with all of you through CDE. They will pass it to you. And second reference is the from Keely Catman, where they have a good table. What are the supervisor expectation kind of table, an issue, and how supervisor and the supervisee, who is the one who should tackle the issue is a good thing. The third is a paper. Just I make use of it. And also another one is the notes from University of Calgary Faculty of Graduate Study. Is a best practice of supervisor. So it's a good notes. Also, I already use some of the part in some part of my presentation here. Okay, so that's all for my talk for about 1 hour. And now I'm going to share to you case study. There's 4 case study. So what I need you to do, from this 4 case study, you just pick one of it and you study about it. And what do you think? What is the actual problem? Whether they apply the good practice or not? Who is the problematic, or why this particular thing happened? So you just analyze it on whatever way you want to do. So there's 4 kind of a case study. I will highlight here. I will mention clearly so that you get a better picture. So after about 30 minutes, we will discuss again. So I will call any of you. Just give about 5 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes, whatever time that you think of, that to give analyze on this case study from your point of view. What do you think and how to improve it, or whatever your comment on this particular case. Okay, the first case is that one PhD student who got an international sponsorship. So not much issue of survival for him in the local country. So he with one supervisor, we call as supervisor A, for 8 months. For 8 months, there's no progress. And the student tried to help the supervisor in preparing 3 research grant proposal, and at the end, supervisor failed to get any financial to support the research. So at the end, they couldn't go together. They have a problem because this student is sponsored by the international agency, and they are chasing to get a report, to follow up with the student. So at the end, the faculty advised the supervisor to change the supervisor and the research team, and they found a supervisor we call a supervisor B. So at the end, the student graduate on time. Okay, for the remains, maybe 2 years and 4 months that remain. So within 3 years, he completed the PhD program, okay, and graduate on time with the new supervisor. So this is the case 1. And the second case is a PhD student. Just to share with you that all this story is a real story from some of my colleagues or whatever I've seen or whatever I've gone through. So all these are true uh, study, a true case. Okay. So the second is about a PhD student being caught in a copy and paste plagiat issue during the Viva examination, where the candidate copy the method and result of a master student in the same research group with the same supervision team, okay, into the thesis. So he or she took the method and result of the master student and put into his thesis or her thesis, okay. The university make a decision to give a chance to a student by resubmitting the thesis with new data with more extra time, and after certain time the candidate resubmit the thesis and pass the exam, and the candidate already graduated and progressed well in the academic world now. So this is one of another case study. And the third one, there's one MSc student failed in the Viva examination. So the candidate changed the university with the same topic and added more data with the permission of previous supervisor from the other university, and the candidate progressed well with the new team and able to promote it and upgraded the master program to PhD, and lastly the student graduated. Okay, and the last case is that two of a postgraduate student from the same supervision stopped the study after completed the research milestone of a grant sponsor. So this supervisor got a grant sponsored by the government agency, and then the students registered and do the work accordingly, and all the milestone already achieved. But because they need more time to write up the thesis or to touch up to whatever the thing, but they have not complete the master program due to their financial problem. And after 2 years being sponsored by research grant, they do not have any source of income, and they are really looking for the job, and they quit the program, and the supervisor have an issue with the sponsored government agency. So these are 4 scenario or 4 case study that I share with all of you. So you can choose any of them and try to analyze it maybe within 30 minutes. So then once we're ready, I will call all of you or anyone volunteer to present it. So we will do. Okay, maybe 30 or maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes after I will try to call again. So that's all. The secretariat, is it okay? Or anybody have any question to ask?
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam.
Do we have to do all four
No, no, no
cases
need.
or
Just
one?
just at least one of it.
So how are we going to do this? Just when you call us up and then we just presented our ideas, or how?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
oh, all right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any more? Any question related with the lecture? Anything? I think I will try to answer some question from the chatting board here. I try to get some question here. Okay, there's one. Unfortunately, in my case, most of the students do not understand the simple logic or not sending message during ungodly hours, and more importantly, they think that I should work around the clock for them, like sending me a draft to read and expecting me to provide them with a feedback in 1 or 2 days. This is a new era of a student. Not only whatever draft, especially the thesis, where we ask them to send early, we ask them few times to send early, please send early, please send early, But at the end, they send a thick kind of thesis and they ask us to check and then to feedback them within 1 or 2 hours. So I think you have to motivate from this kind of students slowly, time to time, share to them with your condition, and maybe you can put a timeline. You give the timeline to them, not they give timeline to you. Okay, this is I think from question from Diana Mohamed. And then Dr. Irfan, Prof. Irfan, I think, also respond as what I just mentioned just now. Okay, the same thing. Okay. From Zaro, Assalamualaikum Pak Azman, with the best way to differentiate students who really want to further their study and those who just seek for monthly allowance and leave whenever they got a better job. Sorry if this question is not related to this topic. Yeah, it's related to Zaro, Dr. Zaro Hazrin. I face the same thing lately. Of course, we have to interview the student. Okay, we have to interview the student and then monitor them. And for me, I do journal club. So through journal club, we can know what is the condition. But when I face the problem with these two candidates that I have problem with them, actually at that time I don't have a good journal club program. So and then I realized I do not follow whatever they have done in proper way. So they finish up their work and they just leave it. So the keyword here is that you have to monitor them and really try to understand whether they have the spirit of the research or not. Okay. And then Dr. Fatihah, I think you've responded to Diana questions. Okay, there's one more student from Bay, Dr. Bay, I think. Prof, any comments on supervising overseas student who is working but registered as full-time student? In addition, the student has problem communication in English, having problems to come to Malaysia to do lab work, to work commitment here and she home country. Yeah, I think this is from the day one or from the beginning. The PTJ or the supervisor should already, not to say block, but maybe ask them to find a good or other university that much more near to them or whatever the thing. Okay, communicating in English is important. That's why with nowadays we have this TRX 500 program where we can know how the proposal been prepared, how is the performance of a student. Just to share with you, I have this experience when we have the TRX 500. Sorry to say, the student have very bad English and cannot communicate at all. So we ask why this thing happen. Although we are eager to get student, but we should have our standard. We should have a way to. If we don't have way to help him to improve, then it's very difficult. Okay, so that you should discuss with your own PTJ how to overcome, not simply accept anyone. Okay, at the end we're going to suffer and the project is not move on. Okay, just asking Prof from Nur Hasmani, Hussein. Just asking for Prof opinion. I have a PhD student from China mainland. I suspect there is another person did the works on behalf of him. What should I do? You should be, I think you should sincere and ask the student directly. And maybe, I think there should be another supervisor there, or what you call supervisor field, field supervisor, or whatever the responsible person in that university. Maybe have a discussion to confirm. If so, then you should take an action according to the PTJ or to the IPS, because at the end, it won't go anywhere. Okay, the integrity of the research is already gone, and difficult. Okay, so better you make a confirm on the issue, double check with the whatever if there is a field supervisor, and then if that co-supervisor in the country agree, so then you have to take an action, because at the end there's no more integrity, and other people doing the research for him, and it's not good, no? If send for a service, let's say in certain method, you need you cannot have the facility, it's very expensive, and you don't have the facility, then you send for a service, maybe one or two method, but the basic of the service, the protocol is known. The student can explain everything, and once they get the result, he or she the one who analyze it, then it's a different story lah. Okay, if I send for a service that you both party know, but if we do not know and then other person doing, and if they not understand with according to it, I think it's not no more integrity. Maybe there should be take an action on that student. Okay, and there's one question from Dr. Fatihah Omar, I think. Fatihah binti Muhammad Omar. I found out that they sometimes feel interfered to us simple question, for example, how to extract relevant information from the journal. And I have to sit down and go through with them page by page, and I found out the understanding of student behavior may help us overcome communication barrier. Is this sometimes exhausting for me? Yeah, it's correct, but you have to put some timeline and full stop, okay? Sometimes you get this kind of student, maybe good in communication, but in terms of lab work, or maybe in terms of getting information from journal is not good. Yeah, you have to give some time, teach them, maybe by page to page, but only that time, only once, okay? And then he have to study. Then if no, you have to take an action, okay? If so, then how he going to improve? So that's why I think a journal club activity is important. Okay, you should make with your team a journal club, a frequent journal club, monthly or weekly, okay, and maybe ask a certain synopsis, okay, from the journal or from the article sent to you by monthly or whatever the thing. In certain school in our USM, some lecturer have their own standard, okay. They put certain numbers of papers should be studied, should be analyzed within a few months before you put the legs in the labs. So this I've seen some group doing this. Okay, so to build up the skill, to build up the quality of the students. So you have to manage, find a way how to improve, and then they should improve by time, and then you can get a good candidate with you. Okay. From Dr. Nur Aidaniza Abdul Muttalib, how do we keep a record if our student is having attitude problem? My point is we have reminded, advised, and do all the necessary measure. However, no improvement from the student. But if later she did not manage to grad and blame us of this is our fault, if this is our fault, how to protect ourselves? For now, we reported her progress in progress report every end of semester. Yeah, so the report book every 6 months, the progress report is very important. You should honestly info on the whatever finding you found, the attitude problem, and if it's not improved by time, then you can bring it over to your dean or to whoever responsible, okay, and because they will it will drag you to many more other problems. So better you have put some timeline and try to put a way, give a alternative way for he or she how to improve it. But after certain time, if there's no improvement, nothing been changed, difficult, okay. We have also experienced in certain schools, candidate changed the supervisor for 5 times. Everyone failed. At the end, the dean become the main supervisor, and Alhamdulillah, she managed to graduate. Not sure what the actual problem, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's beyond our hand. We try to do the best. Okay, we do the best, and we give the rest to God. Whatever results, then we have to accept. So the best thing is that we should perform the best way to help the student, and they also should improve. Okay, if not, then you, of course, you have to take an action. How frequent Prof do journal club and it involves all students and lecturers? Yeah, last time when I have a good student, a lot of numbers of students, so we do once a month. Okay, sometimes we do twice in a month. Depend. When I was in Japan, we are doing every week. So depend the numbers, because if not many students, then the more frequent they will get, and they will they will exhausted. So it depend, and you can bring all your students or in your team. So if you have a team, that's a good. Or you make a new team. You make a kind of consortium with your lecturers in your school or from others. So you make monthly and do the journal club. And journal club should be in very simple way, okay, not to write down, make a good PowerPoint or give the paper a week before. No, not that such thing. Okay, I have my own way where I've been trained. You just copy and paste the information from the papers. Okay, let's say introduction. There is a 5 paragraph. So what are the key points from these 5 paragraph? Every paragraph there is a keywords. So you just copy and whatever method. So the most important is you're going to discuss about the results from other papers. Okay, so then you know how the student understand how they discuss about the results. So that's how. So for me, last time I make monthly face-to-face journal club and another report through synopsis. So they have to do officially 2 times. So they have to do they have to present and they have to monthly they have to give a report, the article which are related to their project. So that's how I monitor all the student. Okay. Dr. Nibras Abdullah, salam Prof. Salam. Some students are good at their research, but not so good at presentation, skill, and addition to the language. I think a general club is good, but though remarks from the audience make other students think more before participating as speaker in such an activity, need your advice in such case. Yeah, many, including myself, I think I'm not a good presenter. Maybe I'm more love to sleep in the lab. But if you found this kind of students, so you have to give a good platform, practice, make them improve in their language in terms of presentation. Therefore, you should have a good journal club, okay? Ask them to present the papers more frequently and ask them also maybe participate in some kind of presentation courses, you know. I think there's some place they have, some school also have a good kind of activity in terms of improving student, you know, to in terms of language or in terms of a presentation. I think nowadays we have these 3 minutes competition, 3 minutes kind of competition where the student have a chance to present whatever they're finding in 3 minutes. So this is a way activity that you can enhance or you can ask your student to join, okay, for this kind of activity. And you have to get this kind of student to talk more with you, to have good communication with the team as well. Okay. Dr. Zarul, my ex-PhD student just left without notice anything. After a couple of months, he got married. He had completed his fieldwork and data collection. No more money to hire a new student, even fieldwork. In the end, no grad student, no paper, give him some time to just case in return of continue. All coaching courses are on supervisor FRGS grant. Yes, Dr. Zaro, I think some of us, including me also, we have this kind of problem. So we have to optimize whatever the thing we have to give the best outcome. In your case, like this case, maybe you have the data, whatever, so you try to feel to publish it, not to wait from him. So that's one thing. And yeah, to get to hire, there's no money to hire other student. So maybe you can try to do by yourself if the worst scenario, or maybe you get some internship student, or you get some RO who are willing to work without any payment. Don't be shocked, but there is. Okay, I'm not for everyone, but sometimes there is. Okay, they are willing to come in to work without any payment and to get an experience. So somehow in this case, maybe you can make use of these people to help you. Yeah, it's very difficult and we have to answer to FRGS. Okay. And if a worse condition, we've been blacklisted, and then you cannot apply any more grants. And sometimes we have to face it. Maybe we have to inform the KPT. We tell the actual story, okay, and make a rayuan to them. Maybe we have to do something. Okay. So how's everyone? Can I get some voice? Anyone who is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay, bro.
Okay. We have about 260 participants. So, yeah, I think we have about 40 minutes. Maybe we can discuss regarding the scenario just now. Who wish to volunteer to help me to analyze this kind of questions, case study? Any of you? Okay, Dr. What's the name? Nibras.
Yes, bro.
Okay. Yeah, please ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to go fast, so because the time. So for the first case, actually, I think the problem in the coaching, because the student is just new, maybe he has not experience, he doesn't experience in writing proposal grant. Okay, so the supervisor just only keep forcing the student to writing different proposal grants. So the time is gone, and also the sponsors, is consider the time and also the progress for the research. So at the end, he didn't find any finding from his research. So after that, the second supervisor is supervisor B. He focused on the strength of the students and guide him to the right way and graduate on time. And this the problem from my notice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nibras. Yeah, you are correct. And plus, I think for this case, I think the PTJ, the faculty also should play a quite important role, because from the day one have to notice whether the lecturer, the supervisor have a good financial to help the student. If the lecturer there's no grant, and then accepting this kind of student, so it's a problem. So I think the role of PTJ, the faculty also should play important role. So, but now with this TRX 500 program, lately be introduced by IPS, I think it's very good. So everyone can know the performance of the student, and if there is some problem, so they can tackle from at early stage. So
I
thank
think
you very much, Dr. Libras.
just I want to add something. I think this one based on also the research area. Yeah, because
Yeah.
some research area no need for funding.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. For certain supervisor, maybe they have last time they have a big grant, so sometimes they make use of small portion of it, to help the student. Yeah, in some cases. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Nibras. Dr. Nibras, you're from which school?
School of Computer Science.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Who else? Volunteer to give a comment. Analyze this case study.
Hello, Prof.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Vakas here.
Yeah.
Hello. I just like to weigh in something what Dr.
Yeah.
For the case study one.
Yeah.
Prof, actually, you know, because normally sometimes we hear only from the student side, but sometimes if we should also, because there is always two side of the story, because
Yeah.
it
Correct.
happens with me because I'm in the field of pharmacy and especially in the pharmaceutical chemistry. So even to do a minor research, I need a lot of money and grants. So sometime it happens, the student, they secure the scholarship from their parent country and they just want the offer letter in order to secure that, because there is a certain requirement like your university must have in that much of ranking top 200 or something like this. So sometimes even you inform the students like I don't have any research grant or something, so in order to just secure the position, they request is okay, I will come, I will apply for the grants and everything. But that also happened the case because with me, sometimes the student they apply with me. So when I tell them that I don't have any research grant for the time being to conduct these research, they say it's okay, it's fine, we can apply the grant or maybe I can manage. And but after that, then there is another story which come out. So I have also seen some cases like this.
Yeah. It's good, Dr. Wakas. I think lately this thing happen from many other foreign countries. So I think for me, in the beginning, if they understand, it's okay. But then if they still chasing and they want to do, because it's not our fault already, because we already info them, we without any money, so we cannot conduct. So that, and I think you should maybe better make into uh, kind of a paper, black and white, to maybe another kind of agreement with them. So at the end, you cannot be in screw or make a problem for them. You can see this slide or not? Can you see?
No, we
No,
cannot see.
Prof.
No problem.
Cannot. Huh? Okay, give me time. Let me try to put the case study back. Can you see now?
Yep. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So anyone want to try to?
Prof, can I ask you one question
Yeah.
related to case study 2?
Yeah.
Uh, Prof, can you hear me?
Yeah. Sure. I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yeah, Prof, in the case study 2, what is, in your opinion, is it the fault of the student or is it the fault of the system?
I
I just
think
want to
fault
hear
to
it.
everyone. I think it's fault to everyone. I think the less fault maybe it's not students. Student uh, should already refer to the supervisor. I think the main thing here is that the supervisor. Maybe I'm not sure what happened to the supervisor because not properly have look on the thesis, and clearly because there is maybe he or she have too many students and fail to manage, and at the end the student just put whatever the thing he had, and I think I'm not blaming the student. So the most problem is the supervisor, and luckily luckily, the university give a good chance to the student and the supervisor to resubmit with the new data, and Alhamdulillah, the candidate success and it goes well, but the time taken actually is a big problem, maybe especially for the student. So I think there's a lack of communication issue, and also that's why now we have this program where IPS put this TRX program where to everyone should do the proposal presentation and do the progress well, so the faculty or the group, the research team know what is going on. But at the end, to the extent where in the thesis itself, there should be a group of supervisor. It's not only one supervisor, but still, unfortunately, this thing happened. So it's good. It's I can say this maybe 1 in 10,000 happened, but it already happened. But at the end, the university solved the problem.
Dr. Azman,
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Iz. I just want to share our point of view on this case too. I've discussed with another friend in this same session as well, Dr. Zainab. And we think, I mean, I had done my PhD in overseas. And then the way that supervisors, they're supervising the same members or students in the same research team, we have like weekly meetings so that students can present their results and also methods that they use. So, and this supervisor keep updated on whatever results, methods that they use. So whenever the students, pass their writings, whatever it is, he take note. So I think probably doesn't say, like you say, it doesn't have to be the students fault 100%, but the supervisors need to have some sort of methods to supervise and take note, results and methods, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Dr. Nurul, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's correct. Most for this case, I think more responsible on the supervisor. Somehow this thing still happen, but thank God it's been already solved. But in current or whatever thing that we're doing now, I think we should monitor well. And when it come to the thesis, we should again look, and that's why we have a group of supervisors, so everyone should play their roles. And just to share with you, I think this is common condition. I'm not ashamed to share, but this is again, we should accept and we should improve, because sometimes when a new young lecturer get their student, so they put some other senior fellow as a co-supervisor. But at the end, at the end of the project finish, when the Viva day, only then the supervisor being called, the co-supervisor being called. Today is the Viva day. So how do you feel? Okay, and sometimes some supervisor also try to keep away the student from other supervisor. This also happen. So I'm not sure why all these things happen. But if you are sincere to do a research group, a research team, so call and share. If no, yeah, that of course you helping some your friend to get marks as supervisor, but then they don't do any jobs, and it's not good practice. So I think this is also another issue that we should also consider. I think it's a lot happen everywhere.
I have one question related to case study 3.
Yeah.
Because Prof, it is mentioned like previous supervisor, he gave the permission to the student
Yeah.
to pursue the same research topic in the
Yeah.
next university, or maybe the data or something. Prof,
Yeah.
isn't the data is the intellectual property of university?
Yes.
So can the
Actually,
supervisor allow by himself, or he need to
yeah.
take the permission from the university?
Yeah. Actually, this is a true story, but the data belong to a company. So it's sponsored by a company, and the new supervisor actually is also in the research team. So from beginning, he also part of the member. So they get the permission to share, but the grant is not from the university. The grant is from the company. So that's why they shifted to other university. And the second thing, the old supervisor have health problem and have to retire. And but still, the Viva failed for the student. So that's why they changed to other university, because the researcher is in the same team from other university, but they already have the MOU or MOA whatever in the team. So that's why they move on. But I get your idea, Dr. Wakas is correct. It's true. The IP, actually, regarding the IP, there will be another module. They will talk detail on this. But I can share a little bit regarding the IP. The owner is the university, who is the responsible agent for the grant. Okay, whoever who are taking the owner of the grant. So that is the owner of the project. So that's how it works. So the IP is belong to them. So yes, you have to get an MOU with um, uh, s- the university. In chatting box, chatting box. Let me go with the chatting box. Where is it? Stop. Okay, I will go through the uh, question here. Okay, from Dr. Fatiha, there is another thing we should be aware of when it comes to local students. Before they embark on their postgraduate study, please ask if they have applied for SPA, because I have a PhD student who left after receiving an offer from the government and that left me hanging out dry to find a replacement, and I did significantly affected my record with grant sponsor. Yeah, I think this is the same case with the just now with the who is it? Dr. Zafrul regarding the FRGS grant. It's a big problem for us when the student leave, and we have to find a way with other candidate, but it's a problem for us. Assalamualaikum. Referring to case number 1, is it ethical for supervisor to ask a PhD student to prepare research proposal to acquire the grant? I think the idea may be coming from the supervisor, but supervisor need the help of student to prepare, as long the student also agree but he is not the one who make the idea lah, from my understanding. The idea or the concept or whatever the problem statement or the issue on the grant should came from the supervisor. It's not on the student. If in that case, I think it's a misuse of a student. I would like to add, in the case of number 3, previous supervisor should be recognized one of the co-inventor and previous university one of the co-owner research. Okay, the event, I think what Dr. Sharon shared just now, we already discussed. Okay. Okay. Okay, any more? I think the case number 4, many of us also having the same problem just now from the chatting box. I found a few lecturers also have the same problem. So, in some cases, I think once you have a big grant to overcome this problem, you should have a research officer, a good research officer who are focusing on research, not supposed to do a postgraduate, but a research officer, so will help you in the research activity. So that is a good candidate to help to overcome this kind of problem. Okay, so you have a backup to do the work, and to continue the work, but you should have a good grant to pay to get a good research officer. Okay. Postdoc also might also help, okay, to continue the project. So if you have a good postdoc with you, so it will relieve you from many of your problems. Okay, what else? How can I help? Is there any more questions anyone can ask beside the chat box or whatever? Waalaikumsalam.
Just wonder.
Tak berapa dengar
The problematic student.
Okay.
Dengar tak?
Dengar.
Hello?
Ya, dengar. Hello, dengar. Saya dengar ni. Dr. Syuhaila Dr. Syuhaila ke tu?
Ya.
Saya dengar.
Okay. If we really have a problematic student,
Ya.
For example, we need to be honest. We need to report exactly what the situation is in the report, in the supervisor side report, in the campus
Professor.
online, right?
Ya.
So the thing is there any cases that we cannot terminate the student, right?
Ya.
But we cannot add another student for the same topic.
Ya. No, first
How to face this?
we have to tackle one by one. So first of all, if that student is problematic and you cannot manage at all, you will try a few efforts, discuss with your team, with other co-supervisor, and still the problem is still occur, and then you have to bring this to the school, so to discuss it and interview the student and find whatever way. And if at the end still there's no progress and more problem to you, to the school, to the university, I think university have the way to overcome it, or maybe have to terminate the student or whatever, and then you can replace. Okay. But if your project have, let's say, from your grants, you have a 5 objective, and your student, the problematic student, doing 2 objective, so you can bring, although it's same topic but different objective, you can bring another student to do a few other objective. Okay, but if the A been terminated, so or in whatever reason, so you have another candidate that to to do the to continue the project lift up by the other candidate. But again, you should bring this to the school or to whatever committee to discuss. Let be open. Don't put everything on your shoulder, and then it become a big problem.
Okay. One more question. What is the correct? I mean, we already have 1 year with the student, so keep asking and keep. I mean, she said that she want to continue, but there's no update. So until yeah, until this is almost 1 year.
You meet the student face to face.
Yeah, even
It's a local.
yes, local.
Then you should find what are the actual problem, why there's no progress. So maybe discuss with the dean or discuss with the responsible charge person in the school, deputy dean or whatever. So bring to see what the actual, because if there's no problem, then why there's no progress?
Yeah, because actually, this is already 1 year. So I need to wait a little bit more for her, or can I just proceed with the discuss with the dean or so on?
Is she already registered?
Yeah, for the second sem.
Oh, yeah. Then I think you should discuss with your dean and call the student for interview, and you should make a timeline. You cannot wait. If no,
Yeah,
then everything it's not good. Huh? So
yeah,
if
yeah.
we are not having a good practice.
Yes. Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay. Okay, there's a comment from Dr. Lim Chia Yin. Case number 3. Sorry. Uh, case number 2 from Dr. Farah Wahida. Sorry. From Dr. Mohamed L9. Referring to case number 2, I feel like it's a serious ethical misconduct to do plagiate in purpose from one of his teammates. What if it was not caught? My opinion, university decisions should have been made more strict. So this case would be example of action towards ethical misconduct. Yeah, I agree with you, but maybe there's also other issue with the research team. So that's why the university make that kind of decision. From Dr. Bay Ki Poi, case number 2, for a student to be able to go for a viva, the thesis should have been checked by supervisor and subjected to similarity check prior to submission. Why was this not done? Students should be aware that paragraph is a bad conduct. However, supervisor do need inform the student from day one about the plagiarism. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Bay, correct. And Dr. Lim Chia Yin, case number 3. The first concern is the same topic is accepted in other university and the even eligible for upgrade to PhD level is a significant research. Perhaps the student should have appealed for failed grade and asked to revival with the different panels. The second concern is the students seem to work in the same research topic with a shorter time shortcut in other university and got a PhD. Shall there be any cooling period for student candidature transfer reapply to another university with the same research topic? Not to be fair to the first and the second university to contribute to support the research student. Yeah. I agree with Dr. Lim. Both of your comment is correct. They already managed the issue. Um, I think the thing is already goes smoothly according to the decision by both university. Okay, and on Dr. Farah, case number 2, thought the student was able to graduate, the bad habit will not become off easily. I heard a similar case where the student has become a lecturer and still ask around for the exam question for his or her teaching subject. And I think that's how the academic integrity start to be jeopardized. Yeah, if there's so, if this thing is issue of integrity and if there's no change, it will happen, still go on with in that way until one day he be caught again. From Dr. Chai Ming Hock, perlu ke kita kejar-kejar pelajar? Uh, it's very difficult, but we should put ourselves as we also as a student before, and what are we expected from the supervisor? Not supposed to kejar-kejar, but we are running of time, and we should plan in a good way so everyone be happy, work in a good happy condition. Okay, so we have about 5 minutes, about what, 10 or 5 minutes more. Uh, Anyone? Any comment
For the
from
last
the
part,
yeah?
for the case number 4, just
Yeah.
wonder, since the supervisor cannot get give the good report to the FRGS, for example, the grant that we get from the government.
Yeah.
How to say? Can we use the same project, but we get from another? If let's say we do the same project, we another grant from from another grant.
To continue it, is it?
To continue
complete
and
it.
yes. So after that, we need to cite both for the acknowledgement should goes to the both grant lah. Is it
Yeah,
okay,
correct.
possible?
Yeah, it's possible, but you should give notice to both party. This is the condition happen, and I think they will support, because at the end they have to close up the case and to close up the grant and with a good output. But both parties should be understand and being get a notice from my understanding.
Okay. Thank you.
But it's possible.
Thank you.
Okay, I just read a comment from the chat box. From Dr. Azam Osman, case number 4, time planning is important. Yeah, correct. From Dr. Mohamed El Naim, case number 4, if the student have only financial support for 2 years, I believe all plans for their master should be being executed within this time to avoid student quitting and not graduating. Issue with the sponsor agency. Yeah, correct. And from Dr. Nazri Hassan, to everyone, case number 2, I believe this student is actually a good student since he's able to resubmit the thesis and pass the exam after giving second chance and later become a good academician. Maybe the conflict lacking in the supervisory of the thesis writing, too busy many students to be supervised. The problem is plagiat should aware the clear about the plagiat did not know how to avoid the plagiat was not being highlighted by the supervisor. Maybe supervisor also not have enough awareness about the plagiat. How come the supervisor unable to detect the similar method and result with the master student from the same supervisor team? What is the role of supervisory team? University and supervisor supposed to have provide technology to check plagiat prior to this thesis submission. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Nazri. It's a good comment. I think that is the thing happen and they already solve the problem. Case number 2, supervisor has the responsible to monitor the progress of the student and remind the student what to do, and the student should know the plagiarism is bad conduct. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ng Ying Ying. Thank you very much. So, any more comment or to any whatever you want to say? Case number 1, sad to hear this. The supervisor should be reported. Luckily for the student able to get on time, this is rare to hear good news about this kind of story from Dr. Hasna Rahman. Yeah, it happened. Yeah, thank God everything goes smoothly. Anything? So, so this is my last slide. I think thank you to everyone. The most important thing is that we got a blessing from God. Okay, whatever we want to do. Sometimes we do our best. Okay, but we give to God. Okay, to do the rest. Everything is not in our hand. Our hand just can help the student. Can manage to give a guidance. But in the same time, we also should both party lah, student and also supervisor should get blessing from the God. Make doa. We have to doa lah. We have to doa. Sometimes we get a good candidate, everything goes smooth, and sometimes it happens. It's a challenges, and we have to find a way to overcome it. Okay, so with that, I think happy to meet all of you. Thank you very much for your support and questions. The one I found here is a good term. You are the apple of my eye. So you put this thing on your eyes. If you meet your student, okay, someone you are love, put them as your kids or your son or daughter, and help them. Okay, encourage them. But sometimes you have some problematic, as like in our family also, some of our family member also having some problems. So we have to tackle the issue and hope we can be a good supervisor. The most important thing, as I mentioned, we should practice. I believe, I understand everyone is very good, talented, and have a good knowledge and skill. Only that the chances for us to practice it, we should try our best, supervise, practice our good supervision. Inshallah, Allah will help us to go everything smoothly. Anything I learned general class in my ex-supervisor applied very to able. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Suhaila, regarding the journal club. So everything okay? Puan Hazwani ya, CDE ke siapa yang incah ni? Okay ke?
Ya, okey, terima kasih Doktor.
Ya, ya.
Jadi
Kita
jika tak ada
boleh stop dah ke?
boleh, kalau tak ada apa-apa dah kita boleh stop.
Ya. So saya akan share semua slide ni dengan rujukan dengan CDE untuk pass pada participant.
Baik. Tapi macam kalau yang sebelum ni dia share dalam e-portfolio Mahara tu untuk dalam bahagian setiap unit, rasanya lebih mudah untuk diakses.
Okey. Saya akan try set up kat situ lah.
Baik.
Ya.
Sekali lagi kami ucapkan terima kasih kepada Prof. Madia Dr. Mohamed Azman atas pembentangan sebentar tadi.
Ya. Terima kasih banyak. Jumpa lagi insya-Allah. Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Assalamualaikum. So
Assalamualaikum
pintu masih
organizer.
lock.
Saya rasa e-survey masih lock lah.
Baik, kami sedang
Saya cuba semak dulu.
buka.
Okay.
Okey, terima kasih.
Sekadar makluman untuk semua peserta hari ini, sila ambil maklum bahawa yang tugas-tugas yang telah diberikan tadi itu perlu dilengkapkan dan dikongsikan di e-portfolio Mahara boleh join group PSS at USM dalam Mahara tu untuk mendapatkan kredit bagi unit ni. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum. Saya cek yang e-portfolio Mahara tu tapi tak ada link untuk today's forum lah. Macam mana?
Maksudnya?
Sebab saya cek yang portfolio tu, bahagian forum, dia ada task untuk reflection 8 Disember dengan 16 Disember. Yang 21st Disember tak ada lagi. Belum masuk lagi kan?
Saya rasa belum buka lagi. Dia akan...
Okay. Alright, thank you.
Baik, sama.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess for organizer about the attendance, it's lock, cannot do.
Yes, please wait for a while. We're working on it.
Yeah, also it show for me the table only for 16 and 21. It should be 3 modules, not 2. The
Sorry?
first, I can see the 16 and 21 in the list.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't see the third one.
No, we already had the first one on, I think around earlier than
For me
16.
also the similar
Also,
case. I also
So
don't
this
have
is the
found the
last
first one.
unit.
Hello.
because we have to show the 3 modules.
Yeah, I also joined 3, but I found only 2, and the last one is logged.
Yeah. Thank you.
Masih lock juga ya?
Ya, masih lock. Ada tak siapa-siapa boleh masuk survey?
Saya tak boleh.
Saya pun sama. Dia
Tak
masih
boleh.
lock. Rasanya kena set time kot. Time tu. Mungkin PM ke AM ke. Cuba semak balik.
Oh,
Sekejap ya. Kami tengah cuba.
okey.
Sorry. Boleh cuba refresh lepas tu cuba balik tak? E-survey.
Ha.
Okey, yang ni boleh dah. Saya boleh dah.
Alright.
Terima kasih.
Okay.
Yes, now can. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.